the number one most important thing is thinking and learning skills to develop yourself, not necessarily financially or anything like that, but intellectual stimulation. That's what I think I was missing a lot of in high school was intellectual stimulation. And so finding a place where I felt that I could do that is why I picked that college. And I think generally speaking, you need to do that. You need to find a college that is something you really want.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, stop, I guess. Okay, welcome back to the Just Peachy podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Peachy, and who am I joined with today?
Well, this is Mr. Summer, physics teacher here at Rockdale Magnet School for Science and Technology. I don't know if I'm supposed to give a shout out to RMSST. It felt appropriate.
We are using their equipment.
Yeah.
And today's actually the first open day of our makerspace, and I guess technically I've been here for like the whole time anyway, because I've been using the equipment since it's basically like I set it up. But it's cool now it's like officially official, and that I won't get in trouble for it now.
Yeah, anyone who wants to can come on down here now.
It's really fun. There's so much equipment that you can use just like everywhere, especially the 3D printers. I want to start using those soon. But they have Legos, man, and I feel like I'm doing like product placement for my school, but they have a lot of cool stuff in here. This is like one of the things. They're using one of the cameras right now, but enough geeking, I guess. I don't know.
It's been a long time coming with all this equipment.
Yeah, I remember at the freshman meeting or whatever for like the magnet fund, and they're talking about how like they wanted to get us all this stuff back then, so it's cool that then now we finally have it, and the MacBook cart whenever we get to use it.
Whenever that gets, yeah. It's been a whole issue with technology this year.
I remember seeing it like last year, and then that was it. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. Okay, so today's topics are going to be college, adulthood, and careers. Not in that order, because I kind of forgot what I was saying midway. But also introduction. This is kind of my teacher, so yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're expecting NSFW episode, no. Not like that. I meant like.
Any of them NSFW?
I mean, I've said. Well, no.
Never mind. No, don't answer that question.
No, Jen said a very harsh word, and like I think the second episode, and I forgot to cut it out. So that's technically NSFW.
Okay.
But I will not be saying anything that can get me suspended or expelled.
It's a good move.
Yeah.
I'll try to avoid doing that myself.
Thank you. So I guess I'm gonna start with like college, because I know you've been to college.
Yep. Yeah.
So
fair enough.
Go. I guess.
So my story with going to college, I think is somewhat unique actually. I did not want to go to college when I was in high school for a very long time. I kind of thought that. So I mean, I did not like high school actually. It's kind of ironic that I ended up being a high school teacher when like I really did not enjoy high school. My perception of college was kind of just like, oh, it's just like another thing that you check off so that you can go get, you get your high school degree, and then you do the same thing again for 4 more years of all this other, checking off boxes and filling out paperwork just that you can, be like a real adult. And I didn't see any merit in that, like, because I really just, I didn't have a good understanding of what education could really do for me until 2 things happened. One, I took physics, and I took physics with a guy who, he was one of the first teachers that I had where I could tell that there was a moral aspect to what he wanted us to learn beyond just, learning how to take derivatives or solve equations. Like I really saw a character in him that I connected to the content he was teaching, and that cemented me wanting to become a physicist. And then what cemented me wanting to go to college to be a physicist was actually finding the college that I went to, Reed College. It was a very small school, and I remember their motto. And this is turning like an ad for Reed College now, kind of. But I promise I'm not being paid by Reed College to say this. But their Wikipedia page said that their motto was the life of the mind, and that it was not a school you go to just to check off more boxes and get a degree and get a high paying job afterwards. It was a place where like the number one most important thing is thinking and learning skills to develop yourself, not necessarily financially or anything like that, but intellectual stimulation. That's what I think I was missing a lot of in high school was intellectual stimulation. And so finding a place where I felt that I could do that is why I picked that college. And I think generally speaking, you need to do that. You need to find a college that is something you really want. That whatever they have to offer, whatever culture they have, whatever types of programs they have, you should match yourself up with that as best as you possibly can, because that's going to lead you to have the best possible college experience and get the most out of it by far. If you can find a place that really speaks to your goals, either academically or I know some people go to college just because they do want to get that nice career. If that's what you want, find a school that does that. Matching up your interests and goals with what's available to you.
I'm not gonna lie, that was very captivating. Like, I feel bad for staring, but I was like genuinely intrigued, because it's cool hearing about, like, from an adult that didn't start off like going full towards education, even though they're a teacher. And it's cool that, like, you got to, I guess, like, form your own, like, I said that wrong. Like, make your own, like, decision about how you wanted to go about things, even though at the start you didn't really want to go down that path, I guess. And I like that you, like, wanted to focus on, like, the actual learning and not just being there and, like, being like a path to get the good job, because I feel like it's really important to actually learn. So I feel like a lot of schools or a lot of school systems don't put enough pressure, not enough pressure, but more put enough effort into learning itself, or more to, like, passing tests and getting grades.
Yeah, too many educational institutions, the focus ends up being on the grades and not on your actual learning. And one of the things that my college did, actually, which people joke that, oh, you don't get grades at Reed College. You do get grades, but they don't tell you your grades unless you get a C or below. And so no one checks their grades. No one ever talked about their grades there. It was more the conversations we were having about what we were learning about, and not on our grades, because they didn't tell us them. We got feedback. Like, you turn an assignment, they put plenty of feedback on it, so you know how you're doing, but you didn't get grades. And I think more places should do things like that, where grades are not what's emphasized. It's your ways of thinking and doing that are emphasized.
I like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I like going on Magnet a lot, because at Magnet the grades are important, but they really do focus on, like, giving us, like, genuine education, especially in your class. So I'm kind of plugging my school right now.
Yeah, glad to hear.
But like, physics is, like, probably one of my favorite classes right now, because we actually get to do, like, hands-on things. Like, it's not just like, oh, virtual labs, oh, we go in, we do basic work, we get out.
Well, after the pandemic, I'm never doing a virtual lab ever again.
I understand. Those are awful.
Yeah. It's a tough time.
Using Explore Learning Gizmos every day. I shudder. But, like, you actually get to, like, use real world, like, variables. Like, even today we had a lab where we had to launch a marble into the air and then calculate something. I honestly forgot. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
But
that was first period too.
Yeah. But it's cool because we got to actually experience it and not just go through the motions of what somebody else wanted us to look at. And a lot of other schools, especially like in this county, kind of, they focus on education, but some of it is really grade pushing and college pushing, when I feel like the students should get more help pushing, I guess. Like, not just getting the grades, but, like, really, really understanding the material and getting the education that they really deserve. I don't know, it might have been a rant, but yeah.
It's a culture you have to cultivate, a culture of intellectualism.
Yeah.
You need to cultivate.
That's why Magnet is such a W school, I guess, because we learn, like, a lot here. And it's like, we learn a lot in a good way, because it's not busy work. Everything that we do, like, in our classes is stuff that's important, especially, like, if you want to do a STEM major. Like, personally, I want to either be a biomedical engineer or major in music. Very different paths, but being at Magnet is really good for low-key both of them. One, because we have the creative aspects now with the makerspace, and we have all these extracurriculars that we can do to get ready for college, because one, you're gonna need, like, well-roundedness to get into a college, but also it helps you learn time management and stuff And I kind of like that we have all these opportunities to do everything we need to get by for the future.
Well-rounded is a crucial word there.
Yeah. A lot of people not at this school, but like other schools, anywhere, like they have the grades, but they don't really have like anything else. Like they have the aptitude to succeed, but they don't show that they can do it in other areas. They only show it with their academics. And that's a really big problem because like you can be like perfectly suited for a school, but you didn't like do any clubs, you didn't do any community service, so they only see you as your grades. And without them seeing you as like an actual person, I don't think they really want to consider you. And it's understandable because they don't know you. They just know your report card. They know your transcripts. Yeah.
That's why it's really important if you don't do a lot of extra. I mean, I'm not a college advisor, so but you just need to find ways to show who you are, I think, and that can be even if you're not in extracurriculars. I'm sure everyone has hobbies, things they do with their free time. To find good ways to demonstrate that in whatever college application you have.
Do you have any like advice for general college things, especially applications? I know like a lot of my viewers, or like not even a lot, like the 15 I really have regularly are either seniors or juniors, and we all like really need to know what to do to get into colleges.
So I might not be a great source of advice on that. I applied to 2 colleges, and I got into the one that I wanted to get into, and I got rejected from the one that I didn't really want to go to. But I just decided it'd be too weird to only apply to one college, so I applied to 2 just to see. So I'm probably not a very good source of advice on that.
What was the other one?
University of Chicago.
Oh, that's a good. I kind of wanted to go there just to go back home.
I remember they did this. U Chicago. The U Chicago was fun to apply to because one of the things that, at least when I applied, one of the things they made you do was write an essay about like a random topic, and they're usually like kind of like interesting or like quirky topics. And I remember the topic that I decided to submit was don't write an essay about reverse psychology. That was the essay topic. Do not write about reverse psychology. You had to find a way to write about that and put that in your application. So what I did was I painted a picture about reverse psychology. Didn't write about it. I drew a picture about it. And I guess they didn't like that, so they rejected me.
I mean, you technically did the assignment.
I did, yeah. No, I was not written. It was a drawing.
I think. See, they didn't treasure your intellectual, your creativity.
Yeah.
They only saw what they wanted. I don't know.
Is there what's the opposite of a shout out? Can I shout down U Chicago?
Call out maybe.
Call out. A gripe.
That works. SAT words.
Minor gripe about U Chicago.
I mean, they look like a good school on paper. They have a good engineering program, I think. Hopefully, if I go back, then. Well,
I feel like just to go back to what I was talking about earlier, good I think is usually not the best way to think about schools. You should think about the culture that the school has, and does that fit with what you want? There are plenty of schools out there where the culture there is we're stressed all the time, we have too much work, and we're all like fighting about our grades. Those exist. There are colleges that are like that.
POV Georgia Tech.
Oh gosh.
So does like. I think this might be like a kind of like a mini segue, but I don't want to go into it yet. But do people like actually care about the college you go to? Because I've been hearing people say that, well, once you get out of college, it's not gonna matter. It's what you bring to the table. Or there's like them looking at, oh, they went to such and such college, they're like a good fit for this job, whatever.
I mean, it kind of depends. It also depends on when. So like, when you've immediately graduated from college, because you were like just there, that probably has a bigger impact on how people view your aptness for certain careers. I will definitely say the older you get, the less and less people care about what college you go to, and the more they care about your experience in whatever career you decide to go for. For graduate school, it can matter. Like that's a fact of life. You know, getting a bachelor's degree from Harvard, you're probably more likely to get into a PhD or a master's program than you are from a smaller, lesser, well-known school. So I will say it does honestly matter to a degree, but not so much so that if you are highly skilled from wherever college you go to, you will be incapable of finding a job. If you take your college career seriously and you do well, regardless of where you go, you should be able to find work in whatever career you are interested in as it relates to your degree. Yeah. So the answer is yes, but not that much.
Yeah,
And depending on, and like I said, it depends on what you want to do with your degree. If you want to get a PhD in biomedical engineering, then you should probably go to a school that has a well-known biomedical engineering program.
I haven't really like thought much about secondary school. I guess is that what it's called in America? It's just graduate
Post-secondary.
School? Yeah, post-secondary.
Secondary is high school. Post-secondary is bachelor's and beyond.
So then, is it first secondary school, primary school?
So secondary is high school.
Mm-hmm.
Post-secondary is anything after high school.
Mm-hmm.
Bachelor's degree is called a bachelor's degree or undergraduate.
I mean, like
undergraduate.
What's before high school? What's that called?
I don't know. I don't know what the official word for it is.
I think it'd be primary.
Oh, primary.
Oh,
primary school.
Okay.
Primary school. Yeah.
What was that? Oh yeah. So yeah, I haven't really like thought much about post-secondary school. That maybe, but like I do want to get a master's. I'm thinking about getting a doctorate just because I think it will look cool. Especially like if I'm like
look cool. That's the whole point. Yeah.
I want to be called like Doctor.
Tell Dr. Garner you get the degree to look cool, right?
Yeah. I mean, he looks cool. Like it's cool, and it's. I don't think people like trip up be like, oh, Mister. I mean, Doctor, and I'm like, nah, you're good. Then in my mind, I'm like, I've become what I despise. Because also I like learning. Learning is cool, especially about science and music. I know I keep talking about music a lot, but I'm glad I'm at a STEM school because I really love engineering. I like building things. I like calculus now, and that's the insane part. So I know that I really enjoy engineering and probably physics because 1 year class maybe I should be a physics major. Let's think about it back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Science is just really cool to me, and I don't really want to stop learning about either one because there are so many like pathways with music you can take, especially related to STEM careers. There's music therapy, there's audio technology, there's a lot of stuff that you can do that involve music and science like going hand in hand. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to find like the right college for me, because I don't want to go to a school that has a great music program but then like a lackluster engineering, or vice versa, because I think I really need. How did it die?
Uh-oh.
Okay, so the camera died. So so they're gonna be half video and then the rest is gonna be audio. But that's okay because
it's life in the big city.
Yep. I'm genuinely confused on how it died. It was just at three bars or whatever. But okay. So I don't know what I was saying. Yeah. I think that I'll probably need like both pathways in my career, but like in my life, because I don't think that I could live without music, I guess, but I also don't think that I could function without engineering.
Yeah.
And those are two like genuinely different words, because you can function without living and you can live without functioning, I guess, but you probably should have both, because I don't want to function but not live. Like, yeah, that's weird.
Well, I think it's absolutely possible to keep multiple disparate things a part of your life throughout your entire life. Even if you only pick one for your career, you don't ever have to let things go just because they didn't fit into your career or your education plan.
I like that. You see, you're like the teacher that like gets it. I don't know. I feel like that's weird saying on like a podcast episode, but like, I guess you understand like the mind of a kid. Oh, you are a teacher, so that makes sense. But I think you kind of have to.
Just a little bit of experience working with teenagers.
But like I guess you just get it. But one, because you've been through it, but two, because you like have the experience with us, and that it's kind of comforting to know that like adults get our situations and like going to help us through it.
Yeah, we were all there, every single one of us. Some of us might forget a little bit more. We have all been teenagers who terrified of the future. At least I was.
Future is
no idea what I was doing.
No, that's where I am right now. Like I have like a bunch of big plans, but then I'm just like, oh dang, college is like literally right around the corner. Like what month is it? Wow, it's August. I had to look at my phone for that.
But it's like, almost September though.
It's almost September. But we literally have like 9, no, not even 9 months. Because it's 8 months now? 7?
Until what, college starting?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't college start in August for most? Until you graduate?
Yeah.
About 8 and some change.
Yeah, it's really close. And we're talking about it in class that like people like stay undecided for some majors or it's like going to college, but that's scary because I don't think I could function. I say literally function, but I don't think I could function without having each and every step of my life planned out to the T. Like I've had like a plan since I was a kid. Well, it's been changing a little bit, but like it's get engineering job, do music stuff, whatever. White House, 2 kids, picket fence, 2 dogs. Yeah. That's the goal, I guess. I don't know why that's the goal, but that's just the goal. And I like having it planned out, but I don't think that I could do not having like a set plan at all times. It just doesn't fit me. Even though I'm like really reckless, I need that plan.
Well, having goals is important. I think that it's also important to recognize that, I'm sure you've heard the quote, "Best laid plans of mice and men often go awry." So, but there's nothing wrong with having goals. Nothing wrong with that. I think you do have to accept that there is, a lot of uncertainty and, degrees of chaos with things not necessarily going the right way. But, actually, there's a great quote from one of my friends. So when I wasn't sure what to do, after I graduated from college, I got 2 offers. I got an offer to go become a teacher, and I got an offer to work in a semiconductor lab in Oregon. One of them was moving to Georgia, where I knew absolutely no one. But I'd become a high school science teacher, which I kind of had wanted to do for a while, but I wasn't sure about it. And then the other one was staying where I was in Portland, working in a factory making semiconductor chips.
Wait, was the first school here, or is it like somewhere else?
What do you mean?
Like, was like you said moving to Georgia?
The one that I went to?
No,
the one that made me want to go to college?
No, the one that you said would that like offered you a job, like you said in Georgia. Was it this one? Was it Magnet?
No, Magnet's not the first school that I worked at.
Oh, okay.
The first school that I taught at was down in Warner Robins.
Ooh.
Yep. But anyways, okay, so trying to decide what to do with my life. 2 offers. And one of my friends tells me, you know what, I think no matter what you choose, you'll always have regrets. And that sounds negative at first.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like a really bad thing, like no matter what, I'll always have regrets. But I think I sat with that quote for like a couple days and realized that's actually incredibly freeing to know that, yeah, no matter what, like there was always the other option, So it frees you when you acknowledge that, like, yeah, because at the end of the day, you got to pick something,
Yeah.
And you'll never know what would have happened if you had chosen that other thing instead. But at the end of the day, you just got to pick something, and you might have regrets. That's okay. Everyone has them. That's how life works.
That's a good soundbite. I'm using that for the intro, because every intro I have a cool like part of the podcast. But like that was sick. That was deep. I like that.
Okay, cool. glad to be dropping knowledge.
Straight flames.
Straight flames.
I would say like try to segue, but I think we should probably just like technically we already did kind of careers, but like careers. Woo.
Yeah, you got to make money somehow.
Capitalism.
Capital, yeah. I've had an insane amount of jobs. I've been working since I was 12 years old.
Oh.
I've had a job since I was 12. My first job was at a pet store run by this like kind of shady man.
Is that legal?
Nope, it was not. It was under the table. He paid me like $20 to work for like a couple hours. Mostly just cleaning fish tanks and whatnot. That was my first job, and I don't know, find a career that suits you. Find a career that suits where you want to live, and what kind of free time you want to have. I think my college advice is maybe better than my career advice.
I mean, advice. Like I said, advice is advice. Like,
well, I mean, one bit of career advice is just sometimes you will need a job that's just a job because you got to make money. That's just where we're at societally. And I would say if you end up in a situation where you're at a job that you are in it just because you need the money, that's okay, and you can find something that aligns with your passions better later if you need to, and hopefully you will. I know people who, their job is literally just their job. It's what they do full time, and they're planning on doing it for the next, 30, 40 years, but it's just for the money. And what they value is more what they do in their personal life. And that's okay. Some people are like that. I personally need a job where I have some passion about it. I care about what I'm doing to a degree. I don't think I could do an office, like data entry job or anything like that. But some people can. They just have the tolerance for it. That's life.
Yeah, it's like scribbles. Like it will work for like a good like mind-numbing experience just for like a paycheck, but I couldn't do that for 20, 40 years.
No,
just keep going.
I think I can't remember who told me this, but the moment you know it's time to change careers is the moment you're counting down the days till retirement. Like if you start a job, if you're like 3 years into a job and you're like, only 30 more years until retirement, you should definitely switch jobs.
Yeah. That means that every high schooler needs to switch schools, I guess. I don't know. Because I'm not gonna lie, I counted on the days to summer vacation, and I'm like, dang, I miss school. Let's have it back.
Tying that back into the college thing, if you've chosen the right college for you, you should be not counting down the days until you leave, but cherishing the time that you're there.
So, okay, this is kind of like a question, like a question for me, like not even like an interview thing, but like a question, like low-key for me. Do you have to go?
I can spend a couple more minutes.
Oh, okay. So, with choosing your career, should you go for a college that like has your major or something like that, and that fits your career, or should you go to like a good college that fits you, even though it doesn't have like your major for your career?
I think a college that fits you should also fit your career. Because what you want to spend 40 plus hours a week doing, it's a pretty big part of your life.
Yeah. But I'm like, if it has like the vibe you want, but like, dang, it doesn't have like that engineering, it doesn't have like physics. Sorry, I'm using the two things I know about. It doesn't have those two, but like it fits everything else that you would want. Which one? What should you do?
I mean, my point of view, this almost feels like a cop-out answer, but it's just like what you want to do with your life is such a big part of it that I can't imagine the vibe of the school would fit you if it doesn't have a good program for what you want to do with your life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just looking at colleges is kind of scary, I guess. And personally, I'd like a diverse campus, but like a lot of the ones I'm seeing don't have my majors. Like a lot of HBCUs, they have mechanical engineering and they have physics, but they don't have biomedical. And I'd want to go to a lot of them because they have the exact vibe I want, but they don't have what I want to do with my life. And that's the thing that I guess trips me up. So I'm like, dang, I would love to go here, but I couldn't do anything here. I couldn't do what I want to do, if that makes sense.
I got you. That's tough. I wasn't in that situation. I found the one college that I wanted to go to, and I got it. So, I would personally say that I would prioritize what you want. I would prioritize how you want the college to further you as a person. Mm-hmm. So, I would think that you'd want it to go somewhere that has the curriculum that you're looking for.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
So I guess with that, it's gonna be like the last segue for adulthood, I guess.
Okay.
Because I feel like we talked about college, we went from college to the career, and now we're adults doing adult things. And as the millennials say, adulting.
I hate that phrase.
Are you a millennial?
Technically, I think I'm like on the cusp. I'm like the youngest you can possibly be and still be a millennial. Oh. Because I think 94 is the cutoff year for millennial versus Gen Z.
Oh, you're a Gen Z? You're one of us?
I don't know about one of you.
Oh, wow, that hurts. Okay. But sorry, it's gonna be a really quick one.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, general adult life advice. I don't know. Learn how to fix at least part of your car. Learn how to cook at least 3 meals. Eat plenty of fiber. Got no idea how important getting all your fiber is. Drink water. Taxes are not hard to do. So when you complain about, they didn't teach me to do taxes in high school, it's really easy. So don't worry about it.
I had to fill out a W-9. W-9s are hard. They're really confusing. You're lying to my viewers.
No, normally I'm a supportive teacher who says, they're easy. Shut up. What else? I don't know. I never really think of like a transition point of like, oh, that's the moment I became an adult necessarily. I think just get older and accumulate more and more skills and ability to handle emotions and knowing how to change a car's oil or tire, all those important things, recipes and whatnot. It really is. It's less of a sharp transition and more of a just, you gradually become who you are. That's life. Is you gradually becoming whoever it was you were supposed to become.
Yeah.
So don't stress about adulthood. It's not that bad.
Does bullying exist for adults?
Yeah, in a degree. Yeah, to a degree, definitely. I mean, people get into interpersonal arguments, call each other names, have like awkward interactions. Yeah, I would say so.
I thought that was like a high school. I think it's like you just got rid of it.
Well, I mean, no one calls it bullying, but it's more just like people get into disagreements all the time, no matter how old you are. Now, the way in which you handle those disagreements can change. If I disagree with someone, you're probably as an adult, you're more capable of having an uncomfortable conversation about someone who made you feel bad than you are as a teenager, I think.
Yeah.
But it still happens,
You can't even get into a fight because it'd be an assault charge.
Yeah, that too.
I don't really have any questions about adulthood because like that's so far, not even so far in the future, but like it's kind of like out of my mind right now because one, college is like right there. It's hard to think about anything else but college in like my career. But like adulthood, hopefully it's fun. I'm scared of losing my childhood though, but adulthood seems kind of fun with what I've seen with people. Well, I guess the internet isn't like a good source of happiness, but from what I've seen, it looks okay. It looks doable. Hopefully it's good. I hope that I can like make relationships last in adulthood because friends, I guess, I don't know. I don't know how being an adult and having hobbies works, but no, because y'all all have like jobs and like working 9 to 5s.
Yeah, but I still got free time. I go home enough time in the afternoon to do things, go on runs and hike and all that stuff.
Sometimes I still feel like a little kid that's like, oh my God, you don't live in the school? And then I see my teachers walking out into their cars and driving off and waving at me while I'm still sitting in like the parking lot waiting for a ride.
We do have lives outside of school.
But yeah, I guess that is the end. I don't know. It's kind of I don't want to say weird, but like it's a good weird because it's cool having an adult. I'm having like just teenagers, but like an adult's perspective is cool, especially for like a kid's podcast. Not kids, but like a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're a kid.
Yeah.
You're allowed to say that.
But yeah. You have any like final words for the audience?
What's a very adult thing I could say? Brush your teeth and eat your vegetables.
Okay.
Maybe reverse that order though. Eat vegetables and then brush your teeth. Yeah.
Stay in school.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm really glad I had you on today.
Yeah, glad to come in.
It's like sports spur of the moment, but it was this really nice episode. I liked it. Even though we had some technical difficulties.
All right, well, I gotta get going, so see you on Wednesday.
Thank you everybody for listening. And I've been your host, PG, and I'm out. Peace.